all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. Welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. My apologies for the tardiness, but we're going to get started. All right, so I had I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep a similar schedule, if I'm gonna move it up, move it back. I'm not sure yet. So, you know, I always kind of play that by ear every Ramadan. If I have to move it significantly, then of course I'm going to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing, you know, what I'm going to be doing if I'm going to do something real different. No, I think he was just asking. But okay. So I want to share something with y'all. And I want to do this the best way I know how. I'm going to try to keep it tactful. Ramadan is the month of fasting for Muslims. We do it every year. For about 30 days, 29 or 30 days. Just a quick, we follow the lunar schedule, not a solar one. So Ramadan is at a different time every year. It goes back 2 weeks every year. So we're following the lunar calendar months, not the solar calendar months, which is why it's not the same month every year, not the same time. So it lasts about 29 or 30 days. The reason why it's 29 or 30 is because we actually cite the moon. The scholars, the other Muslims all across the country actually go really outside the city limits, because if you're in a big city, the city lights prevent you from seeing the sky. So, and the stars and stuff. So Muslim scholars, groups of Muslim brothers and things of that nature will go outside city limits so that they can see the moon, because the hilal happens right after a new moon. So it's not like a full moon or anything like that. That small crescent is only in the sky for a short amount of time, and it only can show up at a certain time that night. So if the Muslims spot it, we fast that next day on like the 29th day. If it's the 30th day, we're going to start fasting anyway, because a lunar month can only be 30 days. A lunar month cannot be more than 30 days, and it cannot be less than 29. I know that might be confusing, but that is how we do it. Now, you will have some Muslims that only go by like what the news say or what the calendar say. It's a good approximation, but most Muslims in the world don't solely rely upon what the calendar might say the new moon is, or even what, you know what I'm saying? Like, we will go look at the moon. So hopefully that answered your question and everybody else's question as well. I am of the opinion of you see the moon. I don't strictly go by just the calendar. Like, it's a good approximation. Most of the time the calendar is on point, but that I have noticed there are years where the calendar's off. But anyway, that was a quick little lesson. Hopefully somebody got something out of that. Like my baby said, don't forget to follow me on other social media. I'm expanding my social media reach to Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook. I am the Crimson Cure at all the social media. So I don't go by different names. So if you search for the Crimson Cure, I will be the one that pops up so that you can follow. And for content on those other social media sites, as well as we're going to start putting like new and different content on those sites as well as time goes on. No problem. No problem. It is interesting because the lunar cycle is not quite like the solar cycle. The solar cycle, this is why we tell time on the solar cycle from hours to minutes, because it's so precise. But the moon is a little less precise. So we can tell months and years and weeks by the moon. So weeks, months, and years from the moon, hours, minutes, days with the sun. Allah set it up good. So anyway, let's go. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. Listen to this story real good.
Should be in a position where I can hang out with my friends and my counterparts and have a good time and have a drink and feel safe. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen for a lot of women. I don't want to say this person's name, but y'all know him. And I have to get the story straight because ew. I just want to say this to set the record straight. I'm not going to say your name.
Camera one is your camera. Yeah.
I had a show. I want to say it was in Temecula years ago, probably about 7, 8 years ago. And the promoter says, "Oh, I got everybody rooms to spend the night." I said, "Cool." So then we go downstairs to this lounge and the promoter has a section for us, bottles. We all drinking. We all having a good time. And then little but surely, some of the comedians and their partners started saying inappropriate things to me. And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to stop drinking right now," because I don't want to be under the influence and get myself into something.
Right.
I know how I am when I'm under the influence. After a certain amount of alcohol, I'm still moving. I'm on autopilot, but my mind is gone. I said to one comedian, I said, "Well, you're not drinking like that." He was like, "No." I said, "Well, do me a favor. I've been drinking. I feel it coming in. I'm going to stop. But just make sure I get back to my hotel room safe. Just make sure." He said, "What room are you in?" I told him what room I was in. He said, "Okay, I got you. That's right next to my room." I said, "Just make sure I get back to my room safe." He said, "Cool." I'm drinking water. I still remember, in and out. I'm having a good time. We dance. We all get on the elevator. One of the couples tried to take me with them. And I said, "Well, no, I'm going with this one right here." Because I told him, just make sure I'm safe, make sure I get back to my room. I'm out by then. I'm gone. Like, I don't even remember nothing after that. I wake up in his bed.
Oh, wow.
Pissed off. I woke up, I see him, I start crying and I'm screaming no. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Did we do anything last night?" My top is on, my bottom is gone, right? This is just a moment of vulnerability for everybody, just especially for the female comics. And I said, "Did we do anything?" And he goes, "Yeah." I start crying. I run out the room. I ain't even got no pants on. I just got everything in my hand. I'm sure they saw ass on the camera. But I go next door and I'm sitting on my bed and I'm crying because I would never entertain you. If you see the dudes that I'm interested in, you would never even fall into the category of it. And what bothered me most is there was never an apology. There was never any accountability. And then you went around and told people that we did something as if that was something that I, in a sense, agreed to or gave you permission to do. I was under the influence. I asked you specifically to make sure that I got back to my hotel room, and you did, and you took me to yours. And I'm just tired of the narrative that's going around. And I didn't want to say this way in hopes that at some point this person would be accountable. But they're not. They're just running around like, "Oh yeah, me and Takara." And I'm like, no. I don't want to say you to me. That's a very harsh and pushed narrative. And I have to take accountability for the fact that I was drinking. I'm a very accountable person. But you did take advantage of me under the influence, especially when I trusted you and I asked you to just make sure I was safe. And you wasn't even drinking like that. I should.
Now I'm going to pause this. Because the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I hate now in 2026 that we have to listen to these stories with such a critical ear. There used to be a time where no woman would ever lie about that, especially publicly. They would never lie about some man doing that to them, especially publicly. They would not do it. Now we are in a climate where there are women who would freely either flat out lie, twist the truth somehow, not really tell the story, you know, or whatever. And this story had holes in it. Okay. Now, the first thing that I want to say is this is why you don't drink. This is why you don't drink. This is why you don't drink. Because two people who have been drinking do not need to be, especially if they are not married together and stuff like that. You're not supposed to be. Do not put yourself in a position to have drunk sex. Do not, men or women, do not put yourself in a position to have drunk sex. And this is why not. Because legally, in many states, I don't know if it's in every state like that, but legally in many states, a person who is intoxicated cannot give consent. Because they are not in their right mind. Even if they say yes, the legality of the situation says that they cannot consent to these things because they are intoxicated, because they are drunk. For the same reason that a certain amount of drinking will get you in trouble driving. Because once you are drunk, you may think you are making good decisions, rational decisions, but you are not making rational decisions at all. You're making crazy decisions. And the drunker you get, the worse it is. This is why they don't want you drinking and driving, because you cannot consume alcohol and then think you're going to get behind a motor vehicle and make critical decisions, especially if you have to make decisions split second, which if you drive, you know that there are many situations on the road just driving down the street where you have to make a split second stop, split second swerve, split. Okay, and this is why the penalties and fines are so stiff for drunk driving, DUIs, things of that nature, because you are not making a good decision. You think you all right. You're not all right. Your motor skills are slow. The thought is slow. The reaction time slow. All of that. This is why you don't drink. All that drinking? And then drinking and having sex with somebody, you put yourself in a trick bag like that, because now the consent can now be questionable. You can do a lot to people when they are drunk. A lot of things happen when they are drunk. What did Cardi B say she used to do? Get men drunk and then rob them or SA them. So even if you are a man, that drunken state, that inebriated state where you can't really react and you don't really understand exactly what's going on with you, dangerous place. Okay? Now, when you go back to her story, We're going to go back to her story. And we're going to go piece by piece.
Could be in a position where I can hang out with my friends and my counterparts and have a good time and have a drink and feel safe. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen for a lot of women.
Now, the first thing that she said is that it should be okay to go out with your friends and go out with your counterparts and have a drink and be safe. No. I hate to break it to her, Mr. Cara. No. Listen when I tell you that, how is it that women in this society can, with a straight face, tell everybody that there is a grape culture, women are not generally safe, they have to watch their back a lot of times, and we do. As a woman, I speak to you as a woman that ain't never lived nowhere but this society. Women do have to have a level of caution and a level of awareness for the types of things that we might fall prey to that men don't have. Men have a set of awareness for the things that might endanger them, though it's not the same set of things. Okay? It's not the same type of thing. Men are not worried about the same types of things that women are worried about in terms of safety, security, and making sure that they can go and come and not be harmed and make it back to their house, make it back to wherever they going to. Okay? Women have another set of things to worry about. Okay? Because you as a woman cannot be consistently around groups of men and not in your right wits. You can't do that. As a woman, you cannot be around groups of men, even if you think you know them, even if you're familiar with them, even if they, y'all kick it, this your coworker, this one and that one, and blah, 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 blah. I don't care who they are. As a woman, you cannot consistently be in the presence of a bunch of men and you call yourself ain't at your right wits. And when we grow up, when we're growing up, our fathers tell us this. This ain't even no feminist, all men ain't this and that. This is not even that. Our fathers drill this. They drill it. The dad, not mom, dad. I cannot tell you how many times my father tried to do his best to prepare me and make sure that I had a certain amount of awareness. Going places, looking around, looking out, making sure. He was the one that told me, you cannot be in those secluded places and stuff like that with men and boys. You can't do that. Because out of that group, somebody gonna try you. And you don't know which one it is. It's usually the one you don't think gonna do that. That's usually the one. The one you thought would never do, that be the one gonna do it. That one gonna do you. That one. The nice one. The one smiling. That one. You gotta watch that one. He grinning and skinning too much. He wanna be around you too much. He want to walk you over here and he want to escort you over there. And every time it's by yourself. No. You cannot. finding yourself in places with men, boys, groups of them, you the only female, it might be one other female, that's not gonna work. And he was telling me that because of this particular thing. I can't be a woman and find myself in no situation where I might have to physically defend myself against any man. I'm at a disadvantage. He catch you off guard. You ain't paying attention. You not aware. You gonna get got. The chances is high. And I'm going to tell you another thing that your daddy tell you when you a girl. I'm going to tell you another thing that your daddy say when you a girl. He don't be talking about not all. My daddy never said that. Not all the men to do. He never said that. He said assume. Assume they all will do it. Assume it. Assume the worst out of it. Assume the worst out of it. Because you don't know them. Especially me and you don't know them. What you know about them for real? Nothing. You don't know what they capable of. You have no idea. So you have to, in order to be as careful as possible, you have to assume that you could get got at any moment. So keep your head on a swivel, keep your wits up. And he was telling me not only that, but don't be going nowhere. Call yourself getting high, call yourself getting drunk, call yourself going to a party, call yourself doing anything, and you want to smoke behind somebody. You drinking, you this, you that, and you don't know what's going on. Because as soon as somebody note the fact that you're not real clear on what's happening, you ripe for the picking. You ripe for the picking. He said, folks do some of the craziest stuff. Don't never think somebody won't do you. Don't never think that. So you, at your big age, thought. He was telling me this as a school girl, as an elementary school girl, not even a high school girl. He was telling me this at 5th, 6th grade because I was a tomboy. I hung around boys all the time, but I was never alone with the boys. It was always at school. It was always we at the lunch table. It was always like a public thing. I was never by myself with no boys. At your big age, ain't no way you thought that it would be okay for you as a woman to go nowhere and drink, and it's me in there, and you thought that you thought they owed you protection and safety. Y'all better get out of the delusion. We're going to continue.
I don't want to say this person's name, but y'all know him. And I have to get the story straight because, ew. I just want to say this to set the record straight. I'm not going to say your name.
Camera one is your camera.
I had a show. I want to say it was in Temecula years ago, probably about 7, 8 years ago. And the promoter says, oh, I got everybody rooms to spend the night. I said, cool. So then we go downstairs to this lounge and the promoter has a section for us, bottles. We all drinking. We all having a good time. And then little but surely, some of the comedians and their partners started saying inappropriate things to me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to stop drinking right now, because I don't want to be under the influence and get myself into something.
Right.
I know how I am when I'm under the influence. After a certain amount of alcohol, I'm still moving. I'm on autopilot, but my mind is gone.
Listen carefully to that. I can't rewind it because it's Instagram. She said, I know how I get when I'm been drinking. I be on autopilot, but my mind be gone. If you know beforehand, before the section, hey y'all, we finna turn up. Before that, before you go out and celebrate and chill and hang with your co-workers, your colleagues, your friends, your associates, or whoever it is, you know that you don't hold your liquor very well. You don't hold your liquor. So you are the type of person that since you can't really hold your liquor, you don't need to be drinking at all. I'm sorry. There's another video she did that doubles down on, this. I'm gonna play that one too. But my problem with this story is that before any of this transpired, before this night came about, you knew from previous experience that you do not hold your liquor very well. You get drunk, you get tipsy, and you be loose. You be feeling it. So that means you wasn't supposed to be drinking nothing. Or you were supposed to nurse like a little spritz all night. Something that don't hit you. That's what you were supposed to be doing, not drinking. You were supposed to be having virgin drinks and stuff. And nursing one of them. Why would you put yourself in a position knowing full and well that when you drink, you don't hold liquor well, you be out your mind, you be, you know what I'm saying? You be loose, you loose with it, and you don't really be knowing what be going on too tough, and it don't take a whole lot to get you to that point. Why you drinking? Why? At your big age. She talking about this 7-8 years ago. You wasn't 16 or 17, 7-8 years ago. You look like you're good in your 30s. So 7-8 years ago, you were grown. 7-8 years ago, you knew that you do not drink very well. You probably got drunk, did a lot of little different things that you regret while you were drunk. So now you know, man, I can't really be getting drunk. Yet you did it.
Said to one comedian, I said, well, you're not drinking like that. He was like, no. I said, well, do me a favor. I've been drinking. I feel it coming in. I'm going to stop. But just make sure I get back to my hotel room safe. Just make sure. He said, what room are you in? I told him.
Problem number 2 or 3. Why are you asking a man that's not your daddy, not your brother, not your son? Why are you asking a man to make sure that you get to your room? So you're too drunk. You've already gotten too drunk. You're not drinking like that. You don't know how intoxicated he is. You can't hold your liquor. And just because he a man don't mean he can hold his. He might get drunk off of spritzer too. So you are already too drunk. Because instead of feeling it, and I'm starting to feel the effect of being drunk. Instead of trying to ask him to make sure you got back to your room so that you could keep drinking, why didn't you get up? We already passed the point that you done drunk too much and you know you wasn't supposed to because you know you don't hold your liquor well. So you definitely weren't supposed to be drinking in public at all. People who don't hold their liquor well, you need to drink in the house. Okay? Once you start feeling your little buzz, You were supposed to say, hey, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and turn it in. I'll check on y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Don't have some fun for me and go to your room. So you can conk out without a problem.
What room I was in. He said, okay, I got you. That's right next to my room. I said, just make sure I get back to my room safe. He said, cool. I'm drinking water. I still remember, you know, in and out. I'm having a good time. We dance. We all get on the elevator.
You're drinking water, which I'm not prone to believe that you were drinking water after that. Because if you had enough wherewithal to stop drinking alcohol and start drinking water, that was the time to get up and excuse yourself from the little gathering and go to your room. That was the time. Not so you could drink a little bit more, one more shot. What? So how you in and out? You're in and out, but there's more.
One of the couples tried to take me with them. And I said, well, no, I'm going with this one right here. Because I told him, just make sure I'm safe, make sure I get back to my room. I'm out by then. I'm gone. Like, I don't even remember nothing after that. I wake up in his bed.
Oh, wow.
Now, because I can't rewind it, I'm going to summarize what she just said. She said they were in the elevator. In the elevator, one of the couples tried to, I guess, get her to come with them. She said, nah, I'm going to go with him. From the elevator to your room in any hotel is not that long. I don't care if it's a big old hotel and you was on the 10th floor. From the elevator, you were coherent enough. You remember the elevator conversation. You remember the interaction on the elevator. From the elevator to your room, you were unconscious? Because you went from the elevator to you woke up in his bed. So you're telling me that between the time of the space that you had that interaction with the people in the elevator, you were able to recall that you told the couple that you didn't want to come with them. You wanted to go with him because he was going to, quote unquote, see you to your room. And that's where you were going. And from that point, at some point, you were unconscious, incapacitated, even more incapacitated. So you're getting more and more incapacitated as the night go on, to the point where you woke up in his bed. And you don't remember, you ain't had no flashback or nothing.
Pissed off. I woke up, I see him, I start crying and I'm screaming no. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, did we do anything last night? My top is on, my bottom is gone, right? This is just a moment of vulnerability for everybody, just especially for the female comics. And I said, did we do anything? And he goes, yeah. I start crying. I run out the room. I ain't even got no pants on. I just got everything in my hand. I'm sure they saw ass on the camera, but I go next door and I'm sitting on my bed and I'm crying because I would never entertain you. If you see the dudes that I'm interested in, you would never even fall into the category of it.
Red flag number 4. Thank you so much for the contribution. I appreciate you. Next level. So attention is the strongest drug in this scenario. A woman who has gotten raped does not care about whether or not she found you attractive before that point. She doesn't care. A woman who has been taken advantage of in this way, whether she would have been attracted to you or not in any other circumstance, becomes completely irrelevant. You could be the most attractive, sexiest dude in the world. She could have actually been attracted to you. If you take advantage of her and grape her, you will be the most hideous, repulsive, vile man on the planet. All that previous attraction, nobody care about that. She don't care about that. Because it doesn't matter. So had he been attractive, you wouldn't have had the regret? Is that what you're telling us? Because I'm trying to figure out what was the point of that. I would not have entertained you. It doesn't matter if you would have entertained him or not. He could have been he could have been the finest dude walking the earth. If he SA you, what do his looks matter? Or the attractive level? Because all of that goes out of the window. Whether a woman was attracted or not.
And what bothered me most is there was never an apology. There was never any accountability. And then you went around and told people that we did something as if that was something that I, in a sense, agreed to or gave you permission to do. I was under the influence. I asked you specifically to make sure that I got back to my hotel room, and you did, and you took me to yours. And I'm just tired of the narrative that's going around. And that
she's tired of the narrative. This is something that happened, she said, several years ago, 7 to 8 years ago. What narrative? That y'all had sex? And now because he's not a guy you like, you definitely don't want him telling anybody that he clapped the cheeks, drunk or not. Drunk or not.
They want to say this way in hopes that at some point this person will be accountable, but they're not. They're just running around like, oh yeah, me and Takara. And I'm like, no, I don't want to say you to me. That's a very harsh and pushed narrative. And I have to take accountability for the fact that I was drinking. I'm a very accountable person, but you did take advantage of me under the influence, right, especially when I trusted you and I asked you to just make sure I was safe. And you wasn't even drinking like that.
So you just don't like that guy. Unfortunately, this sounds like drunk regret sex. And I'm saying that because she don't even want to call it grape. It supposedly happened to her in the way that she said it happened to her, and she don't want to call it grape. So what we supposed to call it? What we supposed to do with it? This sound like we got drunk and I ended up letting a dude that I don't like clap cheeks. I know I don't like him. He know I don't really like him. But because we were both inebriated, we ended up having sex. And the morning after, now that I'm really at my senses and I done slept off the drunken state, now it's like, oh my God, I let him clap. It's also, I can't believe I done let myself do this again. I know how I be getting when I be getting drunk. And I done messed up for real because I done messed around and got drunk and let this dude clap the cheeks. Man, I was never trying to let him clap. And he done got him too, like he could sing. You become a horny drunk because drinking has different effects for different people. Because some people get horny when they drunk. Some people get sleepy when they drunk. Some people get, you know what I'm saying, happy when they drunk. Some people real talkative when they drunk. Some people get sad when they drunk. Some people get mad when they drunk. A lot of foolishness happen off the back of that drinking. That's why Allah tell us don't be drinking. Allah tell us that. Don't do that drinking. Don't do that. Because you come out your senses too fast. Drinking, more than any other form of intoxicant, get you out your senses too fast and too long. You don't know what you be talking about. You don't know what you be doing. You not real in control. You be doing whatever. Then when you come back to your senses, all kind of stuff be crazy. Like you be done made all kind of decisions. I'm going to go to a commercial break and then we're going to hear her double down. But after these messages, we'll be right back because the link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. If you want to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, you need the body butter that is on your screen right now. If this is going to be your first order, please take 10% off using the promo code Crimson at checkout. This is the time to do it. Buy some personal care products, body butter, perfume, and things of that nature for your boo. Because I know that there are people who celebrate Valentine's Day and all of that type of stuff. Or buy some for yourself. Once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. Once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta go ahead and hit the like button. All right.
Hey, y'all, hey. Okay, listen, let's just address this real quick. Things happen, and
thank you, Thanos. Say, give me a since you got your degree drop, please. I will do. Thank you so very much. Let me see. Here we go.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
There we go. Thank you so much, Thanos, for the contribution. Appreciate you. Now let's listen to this.
I'm not sure which one of y'all need to hear this, but the people who need to know that man's name know that man's name. The people who need to know that man's name know that man's name. Whether it's a lawyer, whether it's the police, whether it's friends of his who are going to make sure that he is being held accountable, they know his name. Because it's my experience, I'm allowed to pick and choose what I want to go onto social media. A lot of you guys are very narrow-minded, especially the people that are blaming me, saying, if you're not telling us who it is, then you're protecting a predator. What the fuck you gonna do, bitch? What you gonna do? If I said his name right now, what could you do? And somebody said, we could stop his career. If he's a comic, he don't have a career. We can cancel him. He's already canceled by the grace of God. That man not moving in this business. You don't think I sat back and thought about all of this already? That man ain't got no motion. You can't stop some shit that ain't moving. You understand what I'm saying? The people who need to know his name know his name. His friends that are holding him accountable know his name. The police know his name. A lawyer know his name. Just because I don't put his name on social media doesn't mean that I'm not being accountable on my end. Everything don't belong to you motherfuckers. I'm allowed to pick and choose what I share with you. I had to learn the hard way to be mindful of that. You don't feel safe on social. Let me tell you, one thing I learned on social media is that social media don't protect Black women. There's a woman in comedy right now where a man physically assaulted her on videotape. There's video footage of a nigga physically assaulting a woman and then lying about it on a podcast and saying, I didn't walk up to her. I went to get her out of my face. And we watched the video footage of you walking up to a woman and assaulting her, and y'all still found a way to make it her fault. You think I feel protected by y'all? I'm gonna tell y'all the nigga name, and then what? You gonna put on your top coat with your magnifying glass and your hat and go play Inspector Gadget and go on his page and do what? Cancel the nigga from shit that he ain't doing? Huh? I gotta protect myself. I have millions of followers across my platforms, and I have to be mindful that I have to be physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared for backlash, and I am not. I'm not prepared for the backlash that this type of thing gets. What I will do is share what I'm comfortable sharing, and that's what y'all got. But trust and believe that the motherfuckers who needed to know the name, know the name. And if you don't know the name, that's because you ain't the motherfucker. I'm going to tell you the name, and then you're going to do what? Go be fucking Inspector Gadget? Go put on your snorkel gear and go dive into some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with you? What you need to know for? Y'all so entitled with people's lives that you can't even accept what we're comfortable giving you. You feel the need to tell us we need more, and then you victim blame. Oh, because you the reason why. Bitch, suck a dick. That's what you can do. A big, fat, STD-infested penis. Put it in your mouth. I keep trying to tell you, stop playing with me. I'm going to give you what I want to give you. And for those of you doing think pieces on this, make sure you post this after your think piece. Hey, yo, hey. Okay.
I don't think Mr. Takara knows how all of this came off. Miss Takara, if it wasn't none of our business, which I grant you, look, if it wasn't none of the internet's business, which I grant you, it ain't. Don't give it to us. Don't give nothing to the internet that you don't want the internet to have. Nothing. Nothing. Because if it's nobody's business what his name is, you know that people are going to be deep diving, trying to figure out who he is and doxing him and all this other kind of stuff. And that's not necessary. And also, if the people, from what you just said in that video, the people who need to know already know, then why did you say it to a bunch of people that didn't need to know? If he already being held accountable to the level that he could be held accountable, if he don't got no clout, if he don't got no motion, if his livelihood or career in this way has been so severely affected by those things or as a result of those actions, why then the victory was already done then. What you come telling us about it for? The victory is yours. Is it not? Because it's a lot of women walking this earth who were not only raped, but beaten, otherwise harmed also, who had to charge it to the game, and nothing happened to that man. She did go to the police. She did make a report, and nothing happened to that man. She couldn't prove it. It couldn't be proven without a doubt. grape is already difficult. I already went through the difficulty of how hard it is to prove that. Unless he's trying to get rid of you and his DNA all over the place, it's your word against his on whether or not it was consensual or not. Because most SA happens between people who are familiar with one another. Not so much the strangers. And them women don't get so much justice as you just said you got. With lawyers know his name and folks are holding him accountable and things of that nature. So then that's more justice again than a lot of women is walking around with. A lot of women just got to walk around and understand that whatever, if they believe in an afterlife, then that's when he going to get his justice. Other than that, she got to try to just live her life to the best she can and heal the best she can. And ain't no use in telling nobody. Because y'all get out here and y'all call yourself be wanting to tell y'all story. And then y'all only want to tell so much of the story because certain details are too sensitive or whatever the case may be. So now when you get on social media and everybody can hear that they're not hearing the whole story and all of the details, and then they start questioning, well, why are you leaving out certain portions of this story if indeed you were taken advantage of in the way that you said that you was taken advantage of? Because ain't nobody saying it ain't possible. Ain't nobody saying that nobody ever does this. We know it happens. So we're not saying it's completely out of the realm of possibility that it could have went down exactly as you said. But when you come to the internet, if you're not ready to really tell a story for real, just don't do it. That's my advice to you from a person who make content consistently. If you don't want people to start questioning what you said or why you said it this way, or you don't want people to start filling in the blanks to the best of their ability, and they might be off, they might actually be wrong or assuming the wrong thing, and you don't really want to clarify it because in order to clarify, you might have to reveal more information or more sensitive information than you are comfortable to reveal. It's best just not to tell a story. Because I seen a ring on Mr. Kara's finger. So I'm assuming that Mr. Kara is married. Tell it to God. Apparently your husband already know because this is a public conversation that's being had. And I'm trying to figure out the point of coming to the internet about it. And you didn't say his name. So people will assume that you're protecting a predator or ain't no clout to his name. So why say it? Because you just told us that he ain't got no clout. He ain't got no motion. So there ain't no use in saying his name. This is why you can't tell the internet stuff. You really can't. No matter if you have good intentions behind something that you say from your personal life. Believe it or not, I'm actually careful about what I say about my personal life because I'm not the only one affected by what I say about my personal life. I'm married. And if I say something that's too off color, or maybe I didn't mean to say it, or maybe I didn't mean for the internet to take it a certain way, but they did, now it not only may reflect negatively upon me, it might reflect negatively upon my husband, or it might affect negatively or reflect negatively down the line or in some other way. You have to be careful what you say. Because there are some things that I wouldn't mind sharing. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, you think it's safe or something like that. But this is why when I talk about what my experiences have been in marriage, I use my first marriage. I don't use my current marriage. If y'all notice, when I talk about my marital experience, I actually don't talk about my current marriage. I specifically don't talk about it. I talk about the marriage that I had for 20 years with a man that has gone to glory. And I do that because it's a completed thing. It's complete. What happened in that marriage already happened. There's nothing to reflect badly upon. And even then, I don't get into all of the different details of everything, even in that marriage, because my previous husband is passed away. He's not here to say, to defend or say nothing or comment on it anyway. So you all can only get my side, and I'm cognizant of that. So it don't even matter what kind of intent you have behind it. You could actually have good intent, and then stuff get twisted around. You know what I'm saying? And then you now you in a catch-22, because in order to straighten it up, now you gotta say this, that, and the third, and that's even a deeper hole. Or just leave it alone and let everybody come to a bad conclusion, and then now you just gotta ride it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually really specific about what I say and how I say it and why I'm saying it, if I wanted to use my personal experience as a teaching tool, which I'm becoming less and less actually prone to do. The internet is not a safe space. Talking about the internet don't protect Black women. So then don't put your vulnerable part out there then. Because you're a comedian. So do your jokes, you know what I'm saying, the lighthearted part of your life, so people won't be tempted to dig deeper. Let people wonder about your personal doings. They don't need to know. I'm with you on that, Mr. Kara. The internet actually do not need to know. But you told us, to summarize, you told us that you previously knew, before this incident occurred, that you don't hold liquor well. You know what I'm saying, be like kind of out of your right thinking. Your wits don't be all there and all of that type of stuff. And you knew that going into this gathering, you drunk anyway. Because if you're a person that knows that you be getting drunk, you know what your limit is too. You know the drink that you can drink and the one you can't drink. That's what I was trying to figure out, Miss Jen. That's what I was trying to figure out, Miss Jen. You hit the nail on the head, beloved. I'm trying to figure out if this story is 7-8 years old, then why we worried about it in 2026, beloved? So this took place in what, 2018 or something? 2018, 2019, something like that. So where was this story circumambulating that you felt that you needed to clear it up? And you are already got married, girl. That's so water under the bridge. Don't nobody care about no old drunk sex you had almost a decade ago. Nobody cared. I promise you, nobody was really caring. I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose of even bringing it up. It's old. And it might still be a little shameful. You feel some type of way. Everybody got that. Everybody, pretty much, especially if you are our age, you got some stuff you can think back on, and you be like, "Ooh, Lord, I still feel some type of way about that." We gonna stay far away from that. I don't even want to discuss that. We all have that. It's all right. Everybody has regrets of some type, whether it's big or small, or something that they did or was involved in, and it you know, it's not a good look. So they still feel some type of little way about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ooh, I remember the time such and such happened. Ooh, I don't never want to talk about that no more. That was so crazy. I don't know why I was doing that. And the crazy part about it is, you married, he should have been on that. If this was something that he could have heard, if this was a story that had a good chance of circulating around in your circle and stuff like that, this was something to tell him outright well before, so that it's not a surprise. That's how you get ahead of that. If it's some stuff that you know got a pretty decent chance, like, he probably gonna hear about that. If he talked to enough people or hang around enough people that know me and know this circle and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell him that, so that when he do hear it, he already heard it from me, so it's not like a surprise. But I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. But I wanted to talk about this. Why do women do this kind of stuff? I don't know why they come public with shameful things. Like, as a woman, shame is a powerful thing for us. I don't know that shame works the same way for men as it do for women. I don't know. But shame is powerful to us. We don't like feeling ashamed of things or doing things that we know other people would find shameful. Okay? It's very powerful to us. So I get feeling a certain kind of way, even years after the fact, about something, and you still feel kind of shame about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I still feel some type of way about that. The part that I don't get, so I get that part, but the part that I don't get is publicizing certain things that if you are ashamed of them, then why are we publicizing it and then trying to get it to a point to where I don't seem like I was the culprit or whatever. It's like, just leave it alone. Sometimes if you just don't look at it, it won't come at you. Y'all get what I'm saying? Sometimes you just leave it alone. Certain stuff don't need no light. Then let it be over there in the dark corner then. Just leave it alone. That's the one thing that I actually like. Well, not just the one thing, but that I like about Islam. You don't have to reveal your sins and stuff like that. If you committed some type of sin or some type of shameful thing and it has been hidden, Allah has hidden it. Allah didn't publicize that. It wasn't something done publicly, so therefore it has not been publicized. If Allah has hidden it, we actually have a duty as Muslims to hide it too. Don't bring to light what Allah has hidden for you. Especially if it's really something that's one and done in the past. It's not gonna come back. It's not an ongoing thing that's still affecting you, that's still bothering. It's some stuff that years ago this happened. You might not have been happy about it, blah 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 blah, whatever the case may be. Leave it there. Leave it over there. Ask Allah to forgive you and move on. Your sins that you commit, that only you and Allah know you did, keep it between you and Allah. Try to purify yourself from it. Ask Allah forgiveness. Try to do better. You're supposed to leave that stuff with Allah. You're not supposed to keep it with you. Because if you keep it with you, then you expose it, now people can bear witness. Now people can bear witness to what you've done or what happened. And now you shame sitting in your house. You can't even dot that door. The only time that don't work is if you are a person that does things in the dark and you hurt people and you try to hide it. You hurt others and you're a danger. Then Allah usually exposes them people. They be trying their best to hide it, and then Allah just exposes it. Allah exposes them. No, you can't hide it because you harm people. You hurt the people. So therefore, you don't have, I don't give you the grace of hiding your sins, because your sins are not just your sins. You've involved others, you've hurt others, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff. So you getting exposed for that. Just like the mega church pastors got exposed, y'all hurt others. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. But first, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go to crimsoncure.com. You can book a coaching session and you can purchase the book as well. So you want to do this. Okay. You want to do this. You want to go to crimsoncure.com. You're able to book a session, which is a coaching session and things of that nature. You can click it. It takes you through the process of explaining the coaching section and also confirming things with you before you lock it in. You can pick the date and time of your choosing and what is comfortable for you. Also, if you scroll down, you can also click buy now to purchase the book Reclaiming the Black Feminine as well. And if you want some of the charts, all you have to do is click download down here to the charts and things of that nature, and you'll be able to download a high resolution version of the 10 life value system chart and things of that nature, the helpful charts that we have. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and all of this sort of thing. You guys are very special to me, and I appreciate all of you. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye, Crimsonites.